Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of We Should Have Recorded That with Phil and.
Adam.
Hey, Adam, how's it going?
Phil, it's going. And how about for you?
Yeah, it's going for me as well. It's going for me.
Yeah. Going is better than stopping, right?
It is. It is a lot better.
Yeah. So we'll take it.
Yeah. So we're here in another episode, and if you are enjoying our episodes with us, we would like to hear from you. Um, we want to hear, like, this is part of our platform. Like, and I want to mention this, that we have a motto. We kind of came up with a motto, and I think I'm I should have had it in front of me so I could say it correctly, but I think it goes. Um, we should have recorded that your voices and your stories, because your voices and your stories are important. Something like that. Look at it. Find it. I will have it in front of me next time.
Something like that.
Something like that.
All
But
right.
anyway, but anyway, if you are enjoying our episodes, please share, like, and subscribe, and comment. We would love to hear your comments.
Yes.
So, do you have comments?
I have nothing for this week.
Okay, I just have a quick one. Pastor TJ, he was saying he's got back on the bandwagon. He had kind of fallen off. We had kind of taken a break. He took a break, but he
Yes.
started listening. So, welcome back.
That's what they say about, these content creators, that if they
Uh-huh.
take a break, they lose their followers, their subscribers. And
Mm-hmm.
so, I don't feel guilty about taking a break, though. Like, you know, we ain't making any money off this.
No, we're not. Not, at least not yet. So, but hey, if you maybe
Wow, Phil.
one day,
You are full of hope and optimism.
one day, I think we have something here. We'll talk about that one another day. What I think we have
Okay.
something here. We got
Well,
something.
what will we talk about today?
So today we just want to kind of reflect on our past episodes with former students from Delta State, right, and where they are now. And
Yes.
so,
And we're going to continue our Where Are They Now series. But,
uh huh,
yeah, let's just take a quick break and reflect. So,
yeah,
Phil, what has struck you? I mean, you are one
mm-hmm,
of those former students.
yeah,
But I've seen you in person more
mm-hmm,
recently
right,
than I have seen the rest of them.
yeah,
And because you came to Roberts. Uh,
mm-hmm.
but how, what has struck you about these conversations?
I think one of the two things I think most interesting, yeah, the time, and we can rightfully blame it on the pandemic, though, right? That we there was a
Mm,
year, and we're still in it. 2 years of kind of restricted travel. People, most people, kind of staying put where they are, and so kind of seeing people has not been a thing that we've been doing. So, like, just thinking about that time and us being away from each other. And then the second thing is, something that I guess I kind of reflect on it myself, the learning that we have all done in that time. I think, like, the lessons that
yes.
everyone has shared has been so so cool to hear. So those were the two things for me. What about you?
Yeah. I am. First of all, so my primary emotion, I think, is just pride in the amazing work that my former students are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think there is very much in an element in my own work of wanting to pass it on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I remember especially when I chose to go get a doctorate, my major motivation was that I wanted to teach teachers. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to teach future teachers.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted, and yes, I wanted to teach those future teachers. I want to invest in the lives and careers of those teachers, but I also knew that through those teachers, I would be uh, having a second-hand impact on students, on, like this, the ripple effect, as cliche as it is. um, and so to talk with my students who are now doing that is so gratifying. um, I'm just so proud of the work they're doing. I'm so grateful for the young lives they are influencing. Um, so that's like my primary emotion. It's just pride, and it's the same with you, Phil. Like every time that I hear you talk about your work, talk about your students, talk about the things you're doing with them, I'm just very proud. Um, that I'm very proud to know you. I'm very proud that I got to be an element of your educational journey. And I'm very grateful for the impact you are having on society through the work you do with young people. Um, and then, I guess another major another major lesson that I've learned, you know, being these former students of mine have shared memories of their time together, and I am um, I am uh, oh gosh, I am uneloquent. That's what I am. But I um, I remember usually I remember the incidents that my students are talking about, but I have to say, like, some of those incidents I remember clearly. Many of those incidents and many of those memories that former students share, I remember only vaguely. And um, that has driven home to me. These are the things, this person has 45 minutes to talk about what they will, and they share a memory that's really important and meaningful to them that I only remember vaguely, and that has driven home to me the just the magnitude of what we educators do. We Those conversations, those interactions that we have with our students in and out of the classroom, that we will only remember in the future vaguely, can sometimes be the most meaningful interactions. Like,
Yeah.
those are the things. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, God help me. What a sacred responsibility I have. Please, Lord, don't let me say the wrong thing. Please, Lord, guide my interactions with students. Please, Lord, help me to be the model of decency that I hope to be.
But I think that's yeah, I think that's a very good lesson that I will reflect on too. One of the things that I've been saying to myself to kind of help, and I think honestly keep me humble is that,
Mm,
like this education and teaching is kind of like a relay race, right? And I'm only one leg in this race. There are people
right.
before me, there are people
Yeah.
after me, and the goal is not to get them to a quote unquote finish line, but
Yes.
to just keep them going because learning is a lifelong thing.
Yes.
And so like that's what I've been saying to myself to just, whether it's a good day or a bad day, let me help me. And even when the students say thank you or that, I mean, I accept that, but I also am thinking to myself, I just want to be one of the many teachers that hopefully you have.
Mm-hmm.
As Michael was saying, like he was saying, like some of these students may never be musicians, but he's putting dreams in their heads beyond maybe what they have seen so far.
Yes.
and speaking words into them, as you were just saying, that maybe they don't hear enough, or maybe, maybe even those that they're looking to may need to hear them themselves,
Right.
you know. So yeah.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Oh, it's been a great series. I have really, I've, I'm so grateful for the excuse to catch up with these awesome human beings.
Yeah, yeah. I think for me, and again, because there was so much Basha was saying.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to, like, the thing about her reading skill, her her sheet music reading skills. I'm thinking, I'm with my teacher hat on. I'm like, it's just a matter of, when you see, a 16th dotted, and or a dotted eighth note with a 16th note, like, what does that sound like? Or,
Mm-hmm.
two eighth notes together, what does that sound like? Again, we talked about this with Chandler, the sound before sight.
Mm-hmm.
And like, really having that foundation of, when I see, two eighth notes, it's ta d, and of course there's the motion, like I do the motion
Yep.
with it, or
Right.
ta mi, with the
Yep.
eighth note dotted 16th note. I mean, like, it's like that. And like you were saying, I'm really glad you said that to her, that it is not that you are not a good musician, it's just a weakness. It's a place
Mm-hmm.
where you can grow. And I think, again, being a teacher and educator, having that language, to say, this doesn't make you less or greater, this is just an area for that you need, an area for improvement.
Yes. Yes, I think that's absolutely true. And I think, we all have those gaps, right? I
Mm-hmm.
I think two things have to be simultaneously true in terms of a holistic education, especially when you're talking about career training. You need to fill in those gaps, but you
Mm-hmm.
also need to learn to play to your strengths.
Okay,
Like,
right.
yes, it's not all about making your weaknesses into strengths. Sometimes that's fighting against just like your fundamental nature, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but you can learn to play to your strengths. You can strengthen the things that you do have a natural aptitude for. So,
Mm-hmm.
I yeah, I was very gratified to hear Basha talk about that. Um, First of all, because I was like, yes, she did learn to do it, and second of all, because I was like, girl, you needed to.
You gotta learn to
Basha,
do it.
Basha, I hope you're listening right now. But like, I thought everything you were saying about what you needed during your undergrad, I thought during the time that I'm like, yes, that is what you need. That is, there we go. We can get this. All right, and she agrees with me now.
I mean, that is the thing about being a teacher, right? Like, I mean, I was actually saying this to a student yesterday. I was saying to her, like, you're a leader in this classroom, and I could see those qualities, I
Mm,
mean, and that as a teacher, there are some students who, whatever they do, everybody just gets in line, like right behind them. And so I was talking with her, and she's like, but how am I a leader? You're the teacher. I'm like, it's one of me, it's 10 of you. This is a cooperation.
mm-hmm.
Like, our learners cooperate. I can't drill a hole in your head and just pour it into your brain. You have
Yes.
to receive the information that I'm giving you.
Yes.
And I was reflecting on this, getting ready for this conversation this morning, that a lot of times the things Dr. McGee and Dr. Dahmen and Mr. Ayers and all my other music teachers, before, like, it would hit me a lot of times in those, off seasons. Like, during the summer, I would
Mm-hmm.
be thinking about whatever it is, or I was, maybe continuing to do some music, and so I was able to apply the lesson that I kept struggling to get during the
Yes.
semester
Yes.
that summer, and then in the fall, like, okay, I can run with this now,
Mm-hmm.
so I can,
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah, there was another thought I had about that we as you were talking about Basha, but I forgot. I forgot what it was. We're winging it, guys. We're winging it.
Yes. Well, Phil, to be honest, I don't feel like we need to belabor the point. I think we can
Okay.
just we can
Yes.
just leave it, we can just express our gratitude to everyone who's
Yes.
come on.
Yeah.
Express our gratitude to our awesome audience.
Yes.
Audience, we would love to hear how you're feeling about our Where Are They Now series
Yes.
and the guests we've had on. Um, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I look forward to talking to more former students about where they are now.
Me too. Me too. We're gonna do the last two. Oh, we can just do maybe a one
Okay.
segment of current events because we have been sharing what we've learned. That was basically this episode.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go. You can go.
Okay.
First.
Not a current event.
All right.
Like not a newsworthy event, but this semester, I've shared with you, Phil, I think mostly off the air. This semester has been so wonderful. Like, I am so happy with what I'm doing. I love the work that I am doing. And I can honestly say, with the exception of like just some remaining pandemic restrictions that are getting in the way of just like full fulfillment, I am loving my work more this semester than I ever have. I am really
Wow, okay.
loving what I'm doing. But it's so much. I'm doing so much, and I'm very tired, and feeling like I don't really have time, even, let alone energy, to care for myself in the way that I would like to. And so I have bitten the bullet. Is that the right use of that idiom? Anyway, I have pulled the trigger. Maybe that's a better. I'm just choosing idioms. I need to speak English. I have decided that after Christmas, 2 days after Christmas, I am going to go on vacation to Europe, and
Wow.
I have purchased my flights. I'm like working on my itinerary now. I'm going to be traveling solo, which I have never done before, but I'm really excited about it. So that's the current event in my life. The thing that is sparking
Future
joy
event.
for me right now is that I just have to make it through the next 45 days, month and a half. I just have to make it through the next 40 some odd days, and it's those are going to be some hard days, but I will be able to reward myself
Yeah.
with some traveling.
Well, I will be praying that you do stay healthy because I know that that's always a big thing, right?
Yes.
As you're stretching yourself, that your immune system is
Yes.
more vulnerable. So I will pray that you remain healthy while you get to the 45 days so that when you go to Europe, you can really enjoy it.
Thank you. Yes, I would appreciate your prayers for health. And I have my COVID booster,
Okay.
scheduled
Well, good.
for exactly 2 weeks before I leave, so
Well,
that
good.
my immune system is
Fully ready.
revved up and ready to ward off any COVID that I might encounter.
Okay, and I'll share mine really quick. Mine is kind of tied to a few things. My father, as you know, off mic, I shared that my grandmother-in-law, my father-in-law's mother, died last week, and so it was really after a lot of hard thinking. He's gonna travel to Haiti. He's actually traveling now
Oh, wow.
to Haiti to bury his mother, and and I think that would be like kind of maybe a mundane thing to do, right? To could go bury your mother, but the challenge with it is that Haiti is in such a
Yes.
state right now, and so that is what's on my mind. And even I to relate it to an actual current event that Puerto Rico, which is in a U.S. territory, has there is a lawsuit to afford citizens, residents in Puerto Rico the same Social Security benefits as everyone else right now. And it's amazing to think that they don't have those same benefits.
Yes, it is.
But I say all that to say that, our geopolitical situation and how all these things are connected is it's just a lot going on. So I'm just asking for prayers for my father-in-law, and and thinking about all the geopolitical things that's going on right now. So
thank you for sharing that, Phil. I will be praying.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, anything else for the good of the order?
I think that's it. I just like looking forward to more of your students, more of my colleagues, and having conversations with them. So
yeah, absolutely. All right. Well then, I will say bye for now.
Adios.